With you all, welcome to 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California for the Danny Kadota Show. Danny,
Philip,
man, the new year, we took some time off, but we're back, and it's sure great to see you, my friend.
It's great to be here. Now, see, you want to caught me here 30 years ago, 40 years ago? January this was our prime time for bass fishing.
Oh, I know,
I was
man.
putting up five to 7 days a week sometimes, you know.
Do you miss it?
No.
You don't. Why not?
You know what? It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work, and I'm glad I did it when I was younger. And I was single. You know, that was another thing that made it easy because the responsibility factor, you know.
Yeah,
like
right.
that. And you had to just be able to, you had to be we called it spring loaded. You know, if I needed a partner for the day or whatever, you know, I'd give a guy a call and I said, hey, be here at, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because I want to be up there a little
3 in the
early.
morning we're talking about, yeah.
We'd eat breakfast in Castaic, get up there in line. And it was like everything. But I think a lot of that had to do with the habits of being a captain on a boat. You know, I wanted to be the first one. I used to leave an hour before the fleet did.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to, getting out and getting ahead of the fleet and staying, and particularly on a lake, you have a limited amount of spots, right, that you want to fish, and you're keyed in on them because your network of communication with your fishing friends that were there a day before, the next day, 2 days before, whatever, you get the dope,
Yeah.
From those guys, and you put it through your head, and then you run out to the spots and you look, and just like, and they never understood this. Bass fishing didn't understand it, but when you have a dual anchor, you can determine whether you got current on the spot and which way it's going.
Yeah.
And you could set up the spot accordingly. So that had a lot to do with it. 99% of the guys had no clue.
Yeah.
It was even current, other than, like the Sansom brothers and your Ray Montero's Takas, the guys that ran boats here, unless you're holding a constant, you can't tell which way the current's going.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to swing around, move around. So it made all the difference in the world, for setting up on those spots.
Yeah, 100%. We already have a bunch of people joining us. Thank you so much, everybody. FriedmanAdventures.com is going to go live a little bit later this evening. So all of our future events, like January the 24th, we have our surf fishing event. We've already scheduled another Freedman Adventures Fan Appreciation Day for this December.
That's right.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Everybody
That was a
scooped
blast.
up your sashimi plate like, man.
They have to bring it in, they have to do it again.
And there was a ton of people, and there's a lot of people watching right now. Danny, I just saw Wendy from Iserline post that Taka's tackle is for sale.
It's for sale. I saw it.
And we've been talking about going over there.
You know what?
We definitely got to go.
We got to go. We got to go. And I was told that by a good friend, too. One of my old captains, Junior. And Rick told me, hey, get over and go see him. And I noticed he had, oxygen.
He did?
Yeah. So.
We got to get over there.
We got to get over there and harass him.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, just the joking around, I'm sure that'll help enlighten him. But, he was a very big part of my life. And I was glad to mentor. I was blessed to have mentored under him. There's nobody that was a better captain than I know of, and I call him sensei, a teacher. Right?
Yeah.
And plus, there was no shortage of laughs.
Yeah.
Goofing around.
Which is the best,
and
right?
Family, yeah. And so it was absolutely the best,
So, maybe reach out to him and see if we can't go over it. I mean,
sounds
if
good.
he doesn't want to do a podcast, that's fine. We'll just go over and visit. If he does, better yet.
We'll see if we can't get that arranged, and I could, we could bring some icons.
Yeah.
Over there, the Corky Okoys, the Jimmy Lou's, these guys that broke all these long range records.
That would
back
be
in the
great.
day. And they were doing it with single speeds. And, Jimmy Lou must weigh 98 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
And here he was one of the first guys to get the 300s.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was all technique. And he used to fish with me every week on the Mustang.
Yeah.
Fun. And these guys, Corky, Taka, these guys are all phenomenal fishermen, that whole group. And, more than likely we'll have them all there at the same time. We can do that. That'd be great. It'd be a blast.
We'll work on that, everybody. We'll try to put that together in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
or so.
that'd be great.
This weekend we're going to be in Mexico. Go ahead.
Any of you guys that are listening and get at the Takas, let them know that we'd like to get out there.
Yeah, please.
Get everybody together, and if you guys can organize a time, and we'll keep you posted. and we're spring loaded. We'll jump out there and film. Get
heck
get
yeah.
a lot of the old cronies that hung out in the shop. I mean, it'd be no shortage of laughs.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
I'm in, man.
But
That'll be great.
There's a lot of history that came out of in development that came out of that shop that people, I want to see them credited, for what came out of there is amazing.
It would be fantastic. Jeff Lingle joins us from Illinois. Jeff, want to thank you so much for your kindness and your donation to help us this weekend in Mexico. We'll be down there taking a group of orphan kids out to Blackfin sport fishing. Mad Dog Custom Rods, Z Custom Rods are going to teach the kids how to repair a rod. Thanks to Penn Reels, we have got a rod for each and every kid in a Plano tackle box that they're going to go home with. But before they go home, we're going to take them out for a surf fishing adventure. And I got to tell you, Jeff, thank you so much. And all of you who are contributing, $5, $10, $100, whatever. If you want to do that, send me a text and I'll call you and tell you about the day. 657-227-6459. Jeff, thank you so much. And I'm just reading down below, Jeff saying Taka next level captain. Right up here is what he's saying.
I was just very blessed to be mentored, have mentored under him. It was awesome. Nothing like it. Not only there was the laughs and everything else that went around, Phil.
Yeah, 100%.
But just what I've learned from him was phenomenal.
Chivo is here. Chivo, give you a big hug, man. Hope you're doing great. Dan Lightfoot just walked in here and said, please put together one more lobster trip. I want to take Michael again. So we're working on that. I just talked to Mark Paisano Jr., and he's got a lot of boat work going on and everything. And I'd really like to do it on the Amigo. Keep it right there. Love fishing on the Amigo. So we'll see if we can't put it together. But hopefully, Chivo, you'll be able to make it. Angler Pliers. Man, there's nothing like angler pliers. I'm telling you right now, you can't beat it. David Rosenthal is talking about it at a level that's way up here. Anglerpliers.com. I hope I got that right. David, thank you so much for being here. Trails and Hooks says, hello, Danny. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Chivo says, Taka Takeover. So we definitely want to have Taka on the show. There's no doubt about it. And Scott Buchard is joining us. He says, hi, Danny. Hi, Phil. Scott, thank you so much for being here. Scott, great video from the producer and that great bonito fishing. Way to go. It's gotten thousands of views, all thanks to your hard work. Scott has really been doing a great job on a variety of different things. And, man, we are very proud of him. So good stuff. Taka Shop. Scott, you're not allowed to use the word good anymore. So try that again. He said Taka Shop good. But he's going to rephrase that in one moment. He wants us to do something at San Diego. He's going lobster fishing Thursday out of San Diego on the Tradition. Absolutely, Scott, wish you the very best. And I know I'll be getting some more great video from you because you know how to shoot a video. You not only get the battle, you not only get the angler's expression on their face. There's nothing worse than the backside of some guy's head when he starts fighting a fish. You get out front there, you get those expressions, and then you show off the man's prized catch. Scott, we salute you, no question about it. Some more fish trip in San Diego. We'll be working on that, Scott. What is the best time for wahoo? Scott wants to know.
When they're biting.
There you are, Scott. I'll tell you. The November 8-day trip with Freeman Adventures, man, that was pretty darn good, I got to tell you. That was right before Thanksgiving. Well, Scott, you were there, you fool.
Oh, too bad he won't be on there this year.
Oh, yeah. And you'll be on next year, right, Scott? For sure. Angler Pliers, yes, that's correct. Anglerpliers.com. Do me a favor, everybody. Go visit David. He's a spectacular person putting out a great product that I know you're absolutely going to enjoy. Danny, I'm pretty stoked about these bonito having such an impact. Instead of looking at them like there's some trash fish, and during the history of sport fishing in Southern California, they've been treated that way in the past. Man, they're being treated like the great fighting fish, good eating fish that they are right now.
If you bleed them and you take care of them, bleed them out. And, if you can ice them, if you have the ability to ice them down, it's even better. But I mean, if you take care of them, yeah, it's terrific, mate. It's beautiful stuff.
And they're hard fighting.
Yep.
And they're great at fish that they're catching down in San Diego right now, like 3 to 8 pounds.
That's a chunk.
Calling them 10 pounders, but
Yeah.
most of them are in that 3 to 8,
Yeah.
what I see. And those are nice fish.
Oh yeah, and they pull. Oh my God. You know, I those are the fish that we used to practice on before we went to San Diego,
100%.
right? And
Yeah.
and we were doing it with light line. You know, we were doing it with sometimes with 4 pound and just. When I learned that, you probably did too over at Redondo.
Oh, yeah,
In the harbor.
100%.
We did that fly lining chovies with 4 pound, you know, and that's how you up your skills, folks. But I mean, when you got down there, you got into the bluefin, and you were able to make the cast with light line, and be able to handle that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was practice.
I know,
It was
man. Those were
another
the
form of
days.
practice,
Yeah. And you could rent those little skiffs
the
out of
skiffs,
Redondo. You remember that? And you have
There was a couple bucks
sled.
a day. Yep.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah.
sled with your bait in
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And that was just
Yeah.
way too much fun, man.
It was, and it was inexpensive back then.
Yeah.
Even then, it was relatively cheap.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was great.
We'd come into the harbor after, you'd be out on the Redondo Special, and you'd get rid of your passengers on the pier, and then you go back into Basin 3, and you'd start scrubbing the boat. My brother and I, were 14 years old,
Yep.
12 years old, and then, everybody would leave, the captain, because they don't want to deal with club. And we're, in heaven doing this, and we still have some bait in the tank. So one of us would tie on a bonita pick, and the other one would start chumming, and we'd, do a figure 8 and pick.
Oh, my God.
We'd go down to Quality Seafood, probably totally illegal, but who cares? This is 40 years ago.
kids.
Go down there and say, how many pounds of bonita do you guys want? 200 pounds? Great, what do we get? 25 cents a pound? $50 for
Oh, my
a
God.
14-year-old kid? And
You're in
you're
heaven.
making it
Absolutely.
fishing?
Yeah.
It's like,
Doesn't get
sign
any
me
better
up.
than that. Does not get any better than that.
So we pick a couple 100 pounds of bonito, haul it down there, Quality Seafood, and man, we had some money in our pocket and we were styling, man. It was so good in those days.
Good thing I lived inside the city a little further because I would never gone to school.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Scott is redoing his quote. It's now Taka's shop is great. Excellent.
There you
And
go.
Jeff Lingle says, hey, Scotty, people say they rather have a bonito than a yellowfin or bluefin or albacore. What do you think about that, Danny?
Well, I mean, it's got a beautiful.
I think
loin.
Scott's pushing it a little
It's
bit
got a
now.
beautiful
But
loin, but when you start putting it up against the albacore and stuff,
Yeah.
I would.
Scott, you're
I've
not
been a little
supposed
spoiled, Scott.
tell
I
Scott
gotta
he's
tell
not
you.
supposed to be drinking
Yeah,
anymore.
Scott, no drinking, please.
Scott, lay off the
Yeah,
tequila
yeah,
here
yeah,
today.
yeah.
All right, everybody is having fun with Scott. Chivo says, Scotty, get some big ones. Fish, that is, Scott. Fish.
Not
okay?
bottles. Not bottles.
Yes. Stop any other kind of. And now Scott Buchert says, hi, dog, and Chivo, and Jeff. Now, I've heard him take off on the dog before and give the dog some trouble, but he's being very nice. Scott,
Wow.
we're loving it. Pokey Dad Fishes. It's been way too long since we've seen you here. It's so great to have you with us. So many great things are happening with Penn Reels right now that we are so stoked. Good evening, Phil and Danny. Hope you, too, are having a great New Year so far. Same to you, my friend. We got to get together one of these days for sure. Jeff Lingle, Scotty, the customer, is always right. Yes, Scott, that is 100%. The bonito were, and then that was it from Scott. Oh, wait, no. The bonito were between 4 to 9 pounds here in San Diego, not too far out. The one thing about this is you mentioned that's what you practice on, but you take a kid out and they throw some feathers behind the boat. Now all of a sudden you're hunting. It's that whole anticipation, when you're albacore fishing or,
Yeah, sure.
and then jig strike, throw some bait, deckhand yells, boil, and it's freaking exciting stuff.
And it gets you in practice for albacore fishing.
100%.
You
Or whatever, any
you
kind
learn
of
how to
fish.
handle a slide, how to get in on the spot, and yeah, there's a lot of. It was all practice.
Yeah.
It's all practice, and that's what makes better anglers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something going on because now we got all this anchovy. Now the bonito are back, and the mighty blue perch.
I know where we're going.
The mighty blue perch have returned to Catalina Island.
26 albacore prediction.
I wasn't gonna say anything about albacore.
I won't
even
either.
though you're doing
I'll
your
just-
imitation. It's a pretty good imitation, by the way. Are we gonna catch albacore this year? Might as well do it. It's 2026.
And it's cool water. We stand a good chance just by the water temp, and the amount of chovies. But I guess they've been getting the choves up north too. But yeah, we've been getting. There's plenty down here, so that's got the makings.
I know, and just the oceanography. There's something going on. Chovy, all this bonito's back. Great to see it. It is the bonito are kind of staying like San Diego south. We don't see a ton of it up here. It'd be nice to see it back up here again. Redondo.
Yeah, for fishing.
I know there's a little bit of it around, but not like San Diego right now. I think as the year goes by, that might happen. But it's all oceanography, right?
Yep. You know what? I used to say all these predictions that they used to come out with. They used to get them from scripts and all these places. It's a guess. It's a guesstimate, and they were never always right. There's times when they'd hit it occasionally, but their guess was as good as ours just by being on the water and seeing what we're seeing is in the form of bait, watercolor, temperatures. But typically, it's been conducive for albies for a couple of years. We haven't seen it. They should, by all means, with the cooler water.
They're
sitting up north in a little colder water, but maybe there's just a greater abundance of chove.
Maybe,
whatever
right?
it might be. But I've given up on trying to predict that. We just have to take whatever Mother Nature gives us, and we'll adapt.
Thank God Mother Nature has given us the bluefin tuna.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's saved.
Absolutely.
I mean, without that, people would have been in dire straits.
Yeah. And I think people are getting smart enough too, Phil, where we're not killing a lot of it. We're taking what we can use, because the other thing is, your processing bills and everything else, where do you put it? I don't think we're doing the overkill that in the years past we were pretty, and I got to be very honest, we were all guilty as captains because we were very competitive with our boat counts. But now when you look at the big picture, how much can you use? Take that, let the rest go.
Yeah.
If that's the case,
Yeah, people definitely are more conservation conscious. I see it all the time, like releasing fish all the time, where when I grew up, there was no thinking about letting a fish.
And we didn't even have, have the systems, the
right
refrigeration system.
Yeah, I know.
So it was laying out on the deck in a gunny sack or whatever it might be.
And it still tasted damn good when you took it home and barbecued
But now
it.
when you have the RSWs and you're spiking them and doing the bleeding and the whole deal, you're getting, quality sushi grade.
It made such a huge difference. And go ahead.
No, but you can only eat so much.
Yeah, right.
So, let them go.
Our friend Jeff Lingle, who runs a yacht for the Department of Defense, which I think is cool in and of itself, is in Illinois now fishing for crappie. We had him on this morning, but he had a phenomenal year, man. He was down below catching bluefin and yellowtail and dorado. There was a time when he was going into the beach and catching white sea bass down there below San Martin Island. And then here recently on his last couple trips, he went down to the ridge and below and was catching wahoo and yellowfin. Just a phenomenal fishery here in SoCal and northern Baja for sure.
That's terrific. And the other thing too, Phil, you've probably seen it too. You've seen a lot of loads on the boats as far as our bring home catch.
Yeah.
It wasn't like before where we would just deck load everything.
Yeah, right.
People are getting smart. I mean, you can only use so much. Your processing bill is going to be ridiculous if you overkill. So, it just makes sense to take what you need, release the rest, So that ensures that we'll have them for the future.
100%. Let's get back to some more comments here. Davy's Lures. Davy, it was good seeing you on the beach again today. Didn't get anything today. I'll try something new tomorrow. Little chrome crocodile, Davy, or a little Castmaster. I'm dying to do it, man. The beach is beautiful. Every morning, I can't wait to get up and go out there and just see it. It's so beautiful. The sunrise, birds everywhere. We had 2 ospreys today working the beach. I mean, you talk about beautiful.
It's fishy.
Definitely is, man. Yep. And I have high hopes, Dave, when I see you in the morning, you're going to catch something tomorrow. Jeff Lingle, speaking of Jeff, says, I know anchovy makes for great bluefin tuna years.
Albacore, too.
Yeah.
It's just a great bait.
Oh, thank you. And FriedmanAdventures.com is live right now, and there's a calendar on there We're going to add some more events, but if you want to check out upcoming events, charters, what's going on with Freeman Adventures, for example, you'll find on there our January 24th surf fishing event. I think we have some of our trips on the Independence up there right now. We even have all the way up to our Great Fan Appreciation Day where you can come and meet Danny. I know it's a ways out there now. It's 11 months away, but FriedmanAdventures.com. Check it out, everybody. And I'm really stoked about that. By the way, for your reel repairs, SoCalReels.com. I'm telling you, while I get all choked up here, nobody does it better than Chris. Give Chris or send him a message. Contact him on the website, SoCalReels.com. Great stuff for sure. Kim Herbert, who is in the great state of Missouri, I believe. And Kim says, my youngest daughter got hooked on ocean fishing for half-day bonito.
Oh.
It's a gateway fish, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we used to take our trout rods, fishing with 4-pound. And you did that too.
Oh, heck yeah.
From the jetty to the skiffs there, and it was very inexpensive to fish the skiffs, especially if you didn't get a motor and just had the little tow deal. The most expensive part was the one getting a half scoop of bait.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great times.
Danny, actually, my brother and I preferred using 60-pound and a bonita pick and just no string. Just put them in the trash can, spit the hook, get another one.
You're a commercial.
Just being man, hey, sorry.
Yeah.
That's the way it was back in those days. Davies Lures says there should be a lot of threshers and makos out there. Conditions are right. Anchovy, bonito, perfect bait. Absolutely, Davey. Chuck Zimmer from Z Custom Rods, who has threatened on being on another live show at 5:15 this evening. Sam De La Torre has got a sore throat. He's not feeling well. So we said, Sam, feel better. Get over this crap. But we're going to do a 5:15 show with Chuck right after Danny's show, and hope you'll join us. And Chuck is supposed to be here for that. He asked the question, who first started putting RSW on sport boats? Who started that whole thing?
God, I have to think about that one. It was definitely came from down here, but I think it evolved out of the commercial guys. The commercial fishermen.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, right?
Yeah, because before it was all brine. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
All straight brine.
Yeah.
But boy, the RSW sure put out a much better quality fish. And, it doesn't have the salt content. It doesn't have they'd have a tendency to get discolored. It's just a much, much better system, But, the evolution of it all has got to the point where, it had to address all of a sudden people, and everybody, eating sashimi now and going to sushi bars.
Yeah.
Where in the past it was just pretty much just us Buddha heads. They go, "Dad, what are you doing?"
I know.
And we'd cut a little bit out, and the guys would try. They go, "Well, that doesn't taste fishy at all." They go, "Well, it's not supposed to."
Yeah, right.
But now it's mainstream. So
beyond
everything's
mainstream,
got
right?
Addressed, in that manner, and the accommodations with the fish cleaning and processing and everything are all tailored for that now. So
Yeah.
it's and I got involved in it that day at the docks and stuff because I started to get away from the fishing seminars, and I told, God, what was her name? I'm drawing a blank.
Who?
She used to run all the shows.
Catherine Miller.
Kathy Miller. Sorry, Kath. Anyway,
I got you, Catherine.
I told Kath, I says, other than doing a fishing seminar, I'd rather do something on the processing and stuff like that. And I started to head that direction. And then I told Bart about that, started doing that. Because, when you get involved with making nice dishes, when you have dinner parties and things like that, for the wives, having the seared tuna and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It brings the wives into the equation. And so rather than her saying, "Oh yeah, my husband's fishing and he's got all these stinking fish, blah, blah, blah," she's getting these loins back where she could throw sushi parties and whatever, and became a huge hit. And it became mainstream anyway. You look at it now. Who doesn't eat it?
I know.
You know, but back in those days, it was really just the Buddha heads.
I
And
remember
a few others.
I met my wife in Costa Rica, 30 years ago or whatever it was, and I remember taking her out for sushi, and she thought I was from another planet. I don't even know if she ate it. I can't remember, but she just like, what? Raw fish?
Yeah,
Now, today, fast forward, when are we going out for sushi?
Yeah.
I'm dying for some sushi, Because, man,
it's
there's
mainstream
nothing
now.
better.
No, it's mainstream now, and you could see it. And I actually started doing, I got away and I was telling Bart and the guys at, the San Diego shows and stuff, I was telling them, I said, listen, I don't want to do fishing seminars anymore. I want to go in this area too, processing and everything. I had a friend of ours, Bob Hornshoe, would do a canning segment. I had another guy doing smoking that came down from Lure Jensen, from up in Gary Loomis's neck of the woods.
Yeah.
So Lure Jensen would come down and I'd do one on seared tuna and sashimi, And, if you could bring your wives into the equation, now that it changes the whole game, the whole game, because, they're gonna think, hey, we got a party coming up. We need you to go out there and catch some fish to, so we could have it for hors d'oeuvres or for a main course or whatever it might be. And it got the wives' involvement into it. So how good is that when you get them behind you saying, hey, we need fish.
Yeah, go fishing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tough deal, huh?
I know. Exactly.
There's a lot to that, folks.
All right, let's see. SoCal Reels. I told you, SoCal Reels, man, you need your reels fixed. He said the website is live, freedmanadventures.com. Check out the calendar. There's going to be a lot of stuff. It's a work in progress. We'll be getting that tuned up, working with the dog and everybody else. Thank you so much. SoCal Reels. Make sure you check it out. All right, Davy's Lures. I got some of those. Got some grubs too. All right, he's talking about throwing a chrome crocodile. Davy, let's catch something tomorrow morning. Reggie Wynn. Reggie, it's so good to see you, Danny, and I love it when we see you here. Michael Limon with a jack smelt. And he shows off the jack smelt.
All right.
And hey, Michael Limon, show that one more time again. You know why?
Why?
I don't know. I think it's funny to make you run back and forth and drop the fish in front of everybody. All right, hold it on. The dog is giving him, there it is, a beautiful fish. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
All right, Michael Limon. This is what we're talking about getting kids interested in fishing.
Exactly.
For God's sakes, and get them off their damn phones. Unless they're watching Freeman Adventures or going to our new website, they should not be on their phones. They should be out there doing what this grandpa out here, the guy with the funny-looking mustache, Dan, I won't tell you what Scott Bucher calls him. Well, I can tell you. He calls him the communist. Well, nobody can figure out why. But he makes sure the kids are outdoors. And I salute you, Dan, for all the good stuff you do, man, really. I don't say that often to Dan. I don't want him to get a big head. All right, Reggie Wynn. He said, how did I get onto that? No, I still haven't talked about Reggie Wynn's comment. Is the Scott Bucher promo stuff on Freeman Adventures? 100%. We are pushing ahead with that, Reggie. Scott's actually doing a great job. He's off somewhere else right now. Who knows where, but he's doing a great job. Davy's Lure, Gateway Fish. Feel the addiction, 100%. Jeff Lingle. Royal Polaris was the first sport boat, he thinks, to do RSW. And I have some vague recollection that he's right, probably. It wouldn't surprise me that Frank would be, out there pushing something like that. So, Jeff, thank you so much. And David Rosenthal from anglerpliers.com. I thought it was the Royal Star and the Rooster. Little bit of controversy here. And the other boats weren't far behind.
Yeah.
It was pushed by Sarah, who started 5 Star. And then Jeff Lingle. They all did it in the same year. But I think the Royal Polaris had it on Trip Dirt. Okay. The first one, I'm guessing, right? Yeah. Anyway, it's one of those guys did it. And
it sure made a huge difference, though, Phil. We went from brining solid fish loaded with salt to, something that was much natural, kept it in sashimi condition, the whole time. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Made a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference.
Because when it gets oversalted, the meat would change colors a little bit too, and that, the aesthetics on it changed. So it made a huge difference.
And I still remember going albacore fishing, and they sat in that gunny sack.
Oh yeah.
And bringing them back
in the sun.
cooking it, and people saying this is the best fish I've ever had in my life. Even that way, now it's an entirely different thing.
Yeah, the
and
quality is just phenomenal.
just amazing,
Yeah.
man. Albacore
Huge
especially.
evolution,
Yeah.
of fish cleaning and processing. And,
Yeah, 100%. So really, really good stuff. Let's see. Richard Hughes, the author of so many great Freedman Adventures songs. Richard, we love you. He says, hey, Danny and Phil. Richard, we wish you were down here right now. I got to reach out to you, by the way, and talk to you about the new nonprofit that has almost been approved, Richard. So we're ready to rock and roll. Scott Bugert says, hi, Reggie. Robert Graber, good afternoon. Phil, Danny, and all of the Freedman Adventure fanatics. Happy Danny Kadota Show Monday. I love it, man. Robert's absolutely awesome. Hey, Robert, if you want to type up, I think, and I was in between doing podcasts earlier today, you sent me something about a cancer kind of fundraiser with the Aloha Spirit. If you want to put the details up there, I'll read them here on the show this evening. That is something we definitely want to support. Not only that kind of a fundraiser, but Sean Stewart and the Aloha Spirit. They are really great, great folks for sure. Let's see. Robert Graber, the customer may not always be right, but they are never, never wrong. That's kind of true, right?
it's a smart way to do it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Treat your customers with the dignity and the respect they deserve, unless it's Scott Bukert.
I was almost
You
going
can
to say
usher him right off the boat. No, Scott's great. Scott, keep up the good work out there. By the way, Scott, Mimi says she's got a great dinner for you tonight. I was talking to Mimi, and she said she's going to take good care of you tonight. Scott, what do you want? Do you like onions on your chili dog? She asked me to ask you that. So there you go. You're all set for tonight. Isaac joins us. And he says, good afternoon, Phil, Captain Danny, Mad Dog, Dan, Lightfoot, and the entire Freedman Adventures family. And Isaac, man, you make my job easy sending me all that information. He takes the time to, whenever there's a sport fishing story, he'll send it to me.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
when I get up to research in the morning, I can do my whole research thing, and then I can go back on what he sent me, and I'm, tuned up and ready to rock and roll. So, Isaac, it's great to have you with us. I wish you were here in person, however. And Isaac was on our lobster trip that, Dan's the one pushing for us to do a new one. So, yeah, it was great having him on board, and just a really memorable time, no question about it. It's all about the people you hang out with, and you mentioned with Taka, the laughs.
Absolutely.
The laughs.
The stories. Phil, if we go out there and film it with all the guys, and this is the whole thing. Anybody of you guys listening, pass it on and see if we can't get it coordinated where you have everybody in the shop at one time. The stories will be unbelievable. And it's not just the stories, too, Phil. There's a lot of history that went on, that was developed because there were some just the phenomenal fishermen that were coming in there. And, the learning process was passed around throughout the whole group, And whether it was freshwater bass fishing or long range fishing, you had the Jimmy Lou's, the Corky Yokos, all these guys that set records, long range fishing and stuff. And then we had a lot of us bass fishermen. It was just a good group, but the group was like most fishermen, they very innovative about their tackle and about trying different things. And, thanks to that, we all benefited.
Yeah,
in our
100%.
fishing,
100%.
So my hat's off to all the guys that we ran around with back there. But absolutely right, need to get over there.
Yes.
We'll have
yes.
to make a call. And see
In
if we can
fact, Robert Graber has a suggestion. He says, if Taka's not up to doing the tour, have Danny do the tour. And that's a great idea. You could walk through the store. We could reminisce about great times with Taka. We could really do a good job. He's really looking forward to something like that. Hey, big shout out to Pen Reels again for making kids' dreams come true. As the dog and yours truly and Chuck Zimmer will be in Mexico this weekend, we're taking some kids from an orphanage out to Blackfin sport fishing. And Victor's a great guy, and he's making the facilities available to us. Victor, thank you so much. Blackfin Sport Fishing. And Pen Reels is donating a rod and reel for every kid. We got Berkeley Gulp. They're donating that. We got Plano tackle boxes. We're going to teach these kids how to repair the rod, Then we're going to put on a feast of food. God knows what it'll be. We were thinking about going health food. So, hot dogs and potato chips. Just tons of that.
There you go.
We're going to have lots of food. And then we're going to walk down from Blackfin. It's about a 5-minute walk, and fish the Estero. There's an estuary there where you catch these big spot fin croakers, some halibut, and some other stuff. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh,
and
man.
Penreels is making that happen.
That's awesome.
And guys like Jeff Lingle who make donations and so many others, thank you all for what you do. And of course, I'll be videotaping the whole thing, so you'll get to see it all. It's going to be a lot of fun. What could be better than that, right? How much fun? That's the best.
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
I got to shout out to George Feldman also. George is an incredibly giving guy, and George is helping with the transportation of the kids, helping with the purchase of the food for the event. He's coming down. He's a great guy. He's been going to Mexico for years and years and years. I think George is going to kill me if I'm wrong on his age, but I think he's like 80. And, you hear all this stuff about it's really dangerous in Mexico and you shouldn't go to Mexico. And he's like, he not only drives to Mexico, but he's out running around going like, I'll go to Costco and, I'll go pick up this. And he's running around over to
Wow, that's
Tecate,
awesome.
going to the orphanage
Yeah.
alone,
That's
So
awesome. Yep,
he's a
yep.
fantastic guy and really, really great to have him on the team out there doing lots of great stuff. All right, let's see. Jeff Lingle says, look at Scott up there right now with Penreels. Well, he's over there, but Penreels is over by Danny. But
A little separated.
oh yeah, we had to separate the two because Penreels is actually
I thought that was the
a
Three
really great
Stooges.
company. The Three Stooges are up above that. And Anthony actually was the one, I don't know if Danny wants to demonstrate, but he measured Danny and then put the Penreels. Why don't you stand under the Penreels sign, Danny?
Yeah.
And see
Is this
how
like a
Mad
hat?
Dog did it.
Is it a hat?
Let's
Does it
see.
look like a pen hat?
Look at that.
Huh?
Perfect. You can see the Penreels logo over Danny. So Anthony had to measure out 4 feet 2 inches to get that right. Couldn't resist.
I love it. It's like walking into the wheelhouse in the Mustang. These guys would always bring soap boxes and stuff to put in front of the wheel. I go, who did that? They wouldn't say. They would never tell. I always thought about putting a camera up there. I get even.
All right, good stuff, Jeff. Thank you. Colder Ice. And that's our friend Chris Rank. Chris, it's so good to have you with us. Hey, Phil, Freeman Adventures family, Danny is on topic today. Bleeding the fish is so important. Sushi quality on Colder Ice Brine, Pacific Ocean Edition. Chris, you're so right. Such a great product. Thank you so much for chiming in here. We deeply appreciate it. Kim Herbert, can you explain the rod limit into Mexico, please? Is it while driving into Mexico or on the boats leaving the U.S.? I can attempt to do it, okay? It seems to differ from place to place. On the boats, it's not an issue. So it's 4 rods and reels per angler. On the boats, it has not been an issue. Sometimes, some parts of Mexico, it is enforced. Now, driving into Mexico, I'm telling you right now, my guess would be if you're going through the San Isidro entrance, I mean, they are all about there in San Isidro. I'm talking about the Mexican aduana, the customs. They're all about taxing you, whether you're bringing in clothing to donate to an orphanage or you're bringing rod number 5. You may not get dinged, but it wouldn't surprise me if you did. And I was talking to my friend Joe Russo, who flew into Puerto Vallarta, and he said to the guys down there, he flew into the airport and said, is this an issue? And they said, no, you can bring as many rods as you want. Talked to other people, went to Cabo, no problem one day, problem the next day. It's kind of all over the place. I know it's not much of an answer, Kim, but you're doing the sport boat thing in most cases, and in that case, you should be fine. But, I mean, believe me, we had to factor this in. We're taking 12 rods and reels down to Mexico to give to the kids. So there's 4 of us in the car. If we bring any extra rods and reels, we're going to keep it to 4, so we have 16, and we're not over the limit, just so there's no nonsense. What happens is they get an estimate on the value of whatever it is you're bringing in, and then they tax you at 19%. So $1,000 worth of stuff, Sounds like $190 to me is what the tax would be. So a couple of extra rods is really not going to be a big deal. But now that I've totally confused you, that's my understanding about it. Mike Krinkovich, excuse me, whom we love and is such an important part of the Freeman Adventures family. Mike, we salute you. 2 southbound gray whales passing by us right now at Point Vincenti. How can you beat that, man?
Oh, Mike's out there right now?
Mike's out there right now
my
looking
God.
at these whales go by and reporting back to us. Gray whale migration's underway. They're going from the Bering Sea in Alaska down to the warm water lagoons of Baja California. I love whale watch. I mean, it's kind of fun, right?
Cool. Yeah, it is. It is. We used to do that in the wintertime. Yep.
I
Always
told
did, yeah.
I told the dog a funny story about my wife Ruth. She is like, she doesn't drink, smoke, very Christian, and she went on a whale watch trip with us and got really seasick. And Pete Thomas from the LA Times was there, and he was shooting some photos for the LA Times, and so Ruth is like knocked out, and somebody had a bottle of tequila. So I took it and I put it in her lap, and then I think there was some cigarettes, and I put like the cigarettes.
Yeah, one hanging out.
And I shot that photo. Oh, she wanted to kill me later, man. I never posted it or
But, you
anything.
know,
I wish I could find that.
You know how many fishermen done that? Long range fishing
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
Guys that were either had a little bit of sauce at night and they would sit and put lipstick all over them or whatever it might be. But that, you know what? That's half the fun we
It
have
was
when
so-
we sport
I
fish.
think Pete
is
actually-
messing with each other. So
Yeah, I know.
yeah, the
I
trick
think
is
Pete shot those photos, so he had a really bitchin' camera, and yeah,
well, you can Photoshop all kinds of stuff now. But yeah,
yeah, I know.
we
Yeah,
used to
really. I
paint
don't need
guys'
to find that
faces.
photo. I
Yeah.
could just Photoshop it.
There you go.
God, that was funny. So that was one of my best whale watching memories. That was a good one, for sure. Let's see. Mike, thank you very much. Good to hear from you. Not on boats, Jeff Lingle. What's he talking about, Anthony? The rods. There, thank you. My brain is not working. Thank you very much. David Bretto. David, good to have you with us. Hello, Phil and Danny. It's been a while, David. It's so good to have you with us. Thank you so much for making the time to be here. Rene De Leon, he was here earlier today with a beautiful animal he brought down here, a beautiful dog, and it was great to see you, Rene. He says, hi, Phil, Danny. What's up, brother? Good to see you, he's talking about, not me. Renee, always good to see you. Thank you for all you do for Freeman Adventures. Once again, everybody, freemanadventures.com just went live. And we'll be back at 5:15 with another show tonight. Sam De La Torre has a sore throat. I don't know what he has, but he's sick. He's not feeling well. And he was actually saying, you know, you guys should stay away from me. I don't want you guys to catch this crap. So we're going to give Sam a week to heal, but we'll stay here at 5:15 and do another show. You got a few more minutes left to ask Danny or make a comment or, you know, see a whale going by or whatever it is out there that you want to do. David, thanks again for being here. Renee, thanks for being here. Mike is having a whale of a time. Couldn't help myself. Man, talk about just nailing that cliche right out of the park, Jeff. That is for sure. Richard Hughes, Mike is there irritating the scientist. Come on, Richard, that's not nice. He's not. The Lisa Schulman-Janiger is up there. She is a scientist who watches these whales. I know her.
Oh my, is she still around? And she doesn't do the whale watching?
Yeah, she does the whole
She
thing,
all
man.
did all that with. We have the contracts with LA City Schools here.
Yeah.
And we do whale watching every morning, you know.
Yeah, okay,
Couple
so you
times
know
a-
her? Yeah,
Yes.
I've been dealing.
My God, she's been around forever.
She's been around forever, absolutely.
Wow.
In fact, last year, I think it was last year, I don't know if the dog remembers this or Dan or anybody, but we were on the Island Spirit. We saw killer whales. Saw some orcas. Were you there? Maybe it was 2 years ago.
We saw some on the 8th day too.
Yeah, but we saw these. Yeah, those were pilot whales, actually. But we saw orcas, and I posted a photo. And she, you know, has all the ID on all these. She goes, "Oh my God, you
She
guys
knew who it
saw
was, huh?
ZX-32. That's a very rare,
yeah.
you know, killer whale."
Well,
So
she's serious about
yeah, she's all over it. So
for years and years now. Yeah.
good stuff. All right,
Yeah.
Mike is irritating the scientist. No comment. Rene De Leon, love you guys. Promar Ahi, that's right. Lobster Chronicles on Wednesday night, when we are going to have some giveaways thanks to Promar. Brian Sanchez promised on the last show. Right, Renee? So that'll be good. We'll be here at, what time do we do that show? 4:30? Yeah, 4:30 on Wednesday evening before the dog and I get ready to depart for Mexico Lindo. And Danny, you will notice that the Costa Rican flag now adorns our office so that my wife,
awesome.
I not only have the United States flag, I not only have the Mexican flag, but I have the Costa Rican flag. So there, Ruth.
Hey, those colors look familiar too, huh?
She actually never said anything about it, but I just started to think about it. Costa Rica was a big part of my life when I went down there. So, Michael Limon with
my
a kelp
God.
bass. Check
calico.
out that
Holy
beautiful
smokes.
calico bass.
Wow.
Michael Limon. Hold on, Michael Limon. Michael Limon going to show you that calico bass. Man, that's a big smelt and a calico bass. Michael, I'm going to
job,
give
Mike.
you a jar of my sardines tonight, a can of sardines to
Put
eat.
that thing back in the water.
Yeah. No chicken wings tonight, but you get a can of sardines. Right, Anthony? We've got them still, don't we?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We still have those things. All right. Mike Krinkovich says Elisa's on her 42nd year of doing the whale watching stuff.
That's right. It was back when we were running boats here.
Wow, Mike,
And even
that
in
is
Portugal, too, so it goes
amazing.
back, yeah.
Hey, yeah, why don't you show everybody that we're not kidding around here? There's Michael Limon's reward for catching that calico bass. Dan will eat one of those right now. He's going to eat it. Anthony gets ready to throw up when I start eating them. They're good. They're good for you too, man.
Yeah.
Come on, carnivore. Woo! All right, where else are we here now? Let's go back to some of these crazy observations. Mike Krinkovich, good to have him contributing here. 4:30, yes, 4:30 or 5 is not Tackle Shop, Lobster Chronicles, whatever the hell it is. It's Wednesday night right here from 22nd Street Landing. Brought to you by Promar Ahi. There you go. All right, Rene De Leon says, great job, Michael Limon with that calico bass. You got to love that. David is back with us. Phil or Danny, do you have any fishing charter contacts in the Philippines heading there in May? I don't.
Philippines. No, I don't either.
I don't, but I flew into Puerto Princesa, and then I started taking vans out of there, and there's all kinds of opportunities. If you want to get something a little more locked down, my suggestion is that you Google it or,
You know, it'd be good.
yeah.
Steve,
Oh.
you told me.
Yeah,
He's
Steve,
done
right.
Fishing trips all over the world.
What is this fishing alliance?
Adventure Travel Alliance.
Adventure Travel Alliance.com. I'll bet there's a way to ask Steve a question. I think he's in the Amazon
I
right
think
now
he's
with
in Brazil right
Howard
now. Yeah.
Hada.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, they're down there doing their thing down there right now. But
But he's
David,
fished everywhere. Yeah.
he's fished the Philippines,
Russia,
and he
you
would
name
do
it.
a really great
Hey, Chuck,
job.
sure.
So good stuff for sure. We have another show coming up that you're on.
I've been listening to the
Oh,
beautiful.
perfect. Chuck Zimmer in the house.
All right, Chuck.
here.
Who's behind him? Is it your son Charlie?
Nope, this is Dan Lightfoot.
Dan Lightfoot.
Walrus Lightfoot.
Oh my, yeah, really? I never thought about that. The walrus, man. That might be your new
That does
nickname,
fit.
man.
Fit, right?
You know what? That does fit perfect.
Yeah, David, if that doesn't work out for you, I can tell you that when I was there was all kinds of great opportunities. And I'm talking about, I look for the mom and pop skiff, and there was all kinds of great stuff. I enjoyed my time in the Philippines. I spent a month there in the Palawan area, which is the least developed area. It's, awesome. And people there were great. Had a really good time. I was on some kind of break from teaching over in mainland China, and I went over there for a month and totally enjoyed it. So no problem, David. Best to you. And it's Travel Alliance. What is it again?
Adventure Travel Alliance.
Adventure Travel Alliance.
Steve Yatomi.
Steve Yatomi, and he should be able to help you out. Once again, FriedmanAdventures.com, live right now. Check it out,
That's
and you can
awesome.
look at our calendar. Rene De Leon says, hey, Chuck. Rene De Leon says, hello.
Hello.
There you are. So, Rene, he waved at you, believe it or
Chuck,
not.
did you make that?
A good friend of mine, the next show, I'll show it to you between
Yeah.
shows.
See, these are the things that separate us in Southern Cal from the rest of the.
Well, now you got to
rest of the
show
fishing
it
world.
because nobody knows what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Hold on,
But then we'll go into greater
We
detail.
gotta deassembled and we gotta reassemble.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the idea, Chuck, that usually when it comes to fishing, Phil, the innovations come out of here. A lot has to do with, the people in Southern California come from Hollywood, aerospace, Disney. It's all state of the art mindsets. And
Yeah,
that's what helped-
100%.
That's what helped me, because of my dad.
All right, get over here where people can actually hear you.
Danny.
Yeah, Chuck. Again,
Chuck,
once
what's
again,
going on?
There's more pieces to this. Let me give you more.
All right, hold on, everybody. We're I don't even know what the hell it is. Looks like it has something to do with rod wrapping, or
Oh, yeah.
it's a medieval torture machine for Scott Buchert.
Yeah.
That
That's what
I'm
Scott
all
would use
in
it
on,
for, yeah.
man. Let's see. Put Scott's thumbs there and turn it on.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Perfect.
100%.
All right, I don't know if people can hear you, so you want me to give you this?
Oh, no, you're fine. They can hear me.
You sure?
I could actually hear Anthony. I don't
Oh,
know
you
if he had
could?
new microphones
cool.
or not, but
All right, well, go ahead.
it was fantastic.
Speak up.
Unbelievable.
But no, this is
Speak.
This was actually done by Alchemy. His name Kyle Berg. Him and his dad, super smart guys, engineers.
Kyle Berg, a shout out.
Kyle Berg from Alchemy Customs. I proposed the hand wrapper to him just, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, and he goes, "Man, I've been thinking about making a hand wrapper, and let me see what I can come up with." Didn't hear from him a little bit, and then boom, he comes out with this.
Darn.
This is the most high-tech hand wrapper I've ever seen on the market.
That's amazing.
Unreal.
Ever.
And the guy came up with it in a month's time?
Him and his, probably less than a month.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
So he has made us 12 of these to go
Wow.
down to Mexico.
Oh, is that what this is for?
This is for Mexico.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
So it's pretty amazing because most hand wrappers are. I can show you here. Actually, let me grab the wood one.
All right. Chuck's going to run out and get that. This is going to go. This is the repair
This is
stuff
what I talk
for
about,
Mexico.
innovation.
So this was
Yeah.
like-
Innovation that
I was
comes
around-
out.
Oh, there we go.
I was originally going to give the. We'll probably leave some of these down there for the kids.
Yeah.
But this was the original idea that I came up with, and I mean, obviously, you can see the difference.
Yeah, that is way better.
Rollers. There was no way to dry your rods, so he included the kit with the dryer motor and the extension, so you could lay the rod down, or when you're wrapping.
Yeah.
Everything is adjustable. All of
That's-
this stuff is all adjustable.
That is amazing.
Kyle,
Arms
Kyle,
are adjuster.
See? What we
thank
always talk
you.
about.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
The spool.
So deeply appreciated.
So the tensioner is magnetized. So as more that you screw down on your thread,
It tightens up.
it tightens it up, but there's no friction on the thread itself.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And the slide is smoother than most of the slides that you get on any common power wrapper.
You definitely want to have your tensioner magnetized.
And I
Yes,
gotta tell you,
magnetized.
yeah, Gail would like that.
But yeah, from what I created in my head to what this guy created in a couple weeks.
God. And this is all for the kids in Mexico.
All for the kids in Mexico.
Man, unreal.
And we're future classes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
This stuff
Phenomenal.
is ongoing. I mean,
That
if it doesn't have to be in Ensenada, it could be up here. It could
Redondo Beach.
Redondo
Could be in the
Beach, yeah.
studio here.
We could do it anywhere we want.
That
This
would be
is
cool.
Super portable, 110 outlet, and you're wrapping rods. Even
Unreal.
on 10-day trips. So I scheduled a 10-day trip. You could wrap this up and break it apart and put it in your luggage. I mean, look how small this
Yeah,
is.
right.
Right,
Yeah.
you could put this on your carry-on. That's without breaking it down.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We might even be able to hide that going into Mexico so we don't get taxed.
But yeah, on your steam down that's 24 hours on a 10-day trip, you could put together rods right there
That's-
in the galley.
That's amazing,
Or
right?
do repairs. Right
Yeah.
there,
That's
boom.
unreal.
That's great.
You put a little
Fantastic.
tacky deal, the tacky tape or something on the side, and you plop
Yeah.
it down so it doesn't move around.
Or have somebody hold it like this for you.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's
Fantastic. What
Chuck,
can I
that's
tell
awesome,
you?
man. Absolutely unbelievable.
All right,
See,
and
that's-
Chuck's going to be back at 5:15. We're going to have more.
Perfect.
Since he hogged up all of Danny's, the rest of his
no,
show. He screwed Danny, but what can I tell you, man? Let's see. We
worth
got a few more. David is saying thank you about the Philippines. Renee, hi, Chuck. Yeah, we got that. And Renee said, we use skateboard wheels to make our rods, but all hand turn. And let's see, Maui. Hold on one second. Let me get this. What's going on here with this? I think Maui Boys is saying something about Taka. There we go. I'll get this. Give me another 30 hours. Maui Boys, sorry about that. Love the folks at Taka.
Yeah,
Another
we're
person who
gonna
loves
definitely
those
have
guys.
to get everybody together. We really do.
Folks, live right now, FriedmanAdventures.com. The website's up. You can check out what we have currently coming up. If you want to make a donation, $5, $10, $100 to our Mexico trip this weekend, we could definitely use your help. Just send me a text, and I'll call you back tomorrow, 657-227-6459. And we're back at 5:15, just a few more minutes with another show. But this concludes another great show with my dear friend, veteran Captain Danny Kadota. Danny, I missed you, man, during the break. It's
you
good to
bet.
be back.
We missed the holiday. Yeah, well, it's that time of year.
Yeah, 100%. You got to take a little break, right?
Yeah.
All my best to you and your
You
loved
bet.
ones,
Thank you,
Danny.
sir.
Thanks for
Appreciate
being
it.
here.
Absolutely.
Where's the
Phil.
dog to take us out? Hey, dog. Or do I have to run out there and do it?
Until he comes on, we could just talk smack about him.
Yeah, we could,
Thanks,
actually.
dog.
Yeah, I think he's forgotten all about us.
Dog.
Dog.
Woof, woof.
Dog. Yeah, he's forgotten about
Yeah.
us. I'll go do it. God darn it. That darn dog.
See you,
That
folks.
dog.
Thanks for tuning in.
Where's the dog? When you need him. Where is he?
Dog got it.
Danny, thanks again.
All right, Phil.
Always good spending
We'll see
time
folks.
with you,
Thanks
my
for
friend.
coming in, dialing into it.